All right, brothers and sisters. I'm back at it again with another video. All right, today I want to speak to you about the number 11 and 1111. So there are so many of you out there across the world that are numbers conscious that see this number 11 and 1111 and do not know what it means. So what your first instinct is to do is to go straight to Google and YouTube, start typing in the meaning of the number 11. Some angel numbers pop up and they tell you that everything is going to be okay. Everything is going your way. You're in your season. All right, that's not typically what the Bible has to say. So the number 11 and 1111 are associated with a few different things that I want to share with you today. And the meaning that the meanings that I'm sharing with you today, they come from the biblical text. This is not a video about angel numbers. This is not a video about gematria. This is simply how the Most High uses the number throughout the scriptures. So when you see the number 11, I want you to think about these words right here. I want you to think about isolation, separation, humility, something's being broken up, a journey, servitude, rulership, and judgment. These are just some of the words that's associated with the number 11. And as you go through the scriptures, you will see that Joseph was the 11th son that will actually rule over the other 11. All right, that points to rulership. And Joseph actually died at 110 years old. 110, you take away the 0, that is 11. All right, so I'm going to be sharing with you this breakdown from my book right here called The Spiritual and Prophetic Meaning of Numbers. This book has taken years to put together, but it's allowed me to be able to go through the scriptures almost with a fine-tooth comb and be able to see how the Most High has used these numbers over and over and over again, and then I've been able to be able to extrapolate, put together a definition based on how the Most High has used it. All right, and so all I'm doing today is giving you the definition of the number 11 and 1111, and you could take these words, you could take these meanings up to you in prayer, and if you keep seeing these numbers over and over again, you can ask the Most High, is this exactly what you're trying to speak to me? So we're going to go to rulership. Rulership, the first word I want to speak to as it relates to the number 11, you go to Genesis chapter 37, verse 7 through 9. It said, for behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, and lo, my sheaf arose and also stood upright. And behold, your sheep stood round about and made obeisance to my sheep. So we know this is talking about the dream that Joseph had when his brothers will eventually be bowing down unto him. We see that manifested, later on down the road when they came down to Egypt, and he treated them as if they were spies. And in verse number 8, his brethren said unto him, thou shalt thou have dominion over us? And they hated him yet the more for his dreams and for his words. Number 9, and he dreamed yet another dream and said, behold, I have dreamed a dream more. And behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars made obeisance unto me. So now we got this number 11 associated with rulership or obeisance. The next word I want you to focus on, if you keep seeing this number 11 over again, is think about a journey. The children of Israel, they went on an 11-day journey down to Egypt. As they left out of Egypt and they were circling around, the whole journey was only supposed to be an 11-day journey from there to the promised land, but they wandered around for 40 years because of their disobedience. Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto Israel, all of Israel on the side of Jordan, in the wilderness, in the plain over against the Red Sea, between Paran and Tophel and Laban and Hazarath and Dishah. Deuteronomy 1 and 2. There are 11 days journey from Or by the way of Mount Seir unto Kadesh Barnea. So it was only 11. It was an 11-day journey. The Most High set aside an 11-day journey, but it turned into 40 years because of their unbelief. And as you hold on a little bit longer, you will see as I get into the lesson 40, you'll be able to see that 40 is associated with judgment. So the Most High made them wander around 40 years, but the original journey was 11 days. Keep this in mind when you also see the number 11 about the word judgment. 2 Chronicles chapter 36 and 11 and 12. Zedekiah was 120 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 11 years in Jerusalem. Verse 12, and he did that which was evil in the sight of the Most High, and he humbled not himself before Jeremiah the prophet, speaking from the mouth of the Most High. So now you see a couple different words that I mentioned at the beginning of this lesson. that's associated with the number 11. You see that he reigned for 11 years. But as you can see at the beginning of judgment came forward. He did that which was evil, and he humbled not himself. All three of these words can be associated with the number 11. Go down to 2 Kings chapter 23 and verse 36, 37. Jehoiakim was 25 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 11 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Zebudah, the daughter of Pedaiah of Rumah. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Most High, according to all his fathers had done. So now you see that 11 years related to evil. Both situations, Zedekiah and Jehoiakim, they reigned for 11 years. They did that which was evil in the sight of the Most High. We talked about that. So now something can be broken up. All right. And we go to Ezekiel chapter 26, verse is 1 and 2. And it came to pass in the 11th year, the first day of the month, that the word of the Most High came unto me, saying, Son of man, because that Tyrus has said against Jerusalem, aha, she is broken, that when the gates of the people she is turned unto me, I shall be replenished. Now she is laid waste. So now in the 11th year, Jerusalem was broken. Something can get broken up when it has to deal with that number 11. It's not always positive, like they say on social media. That's the your season is this time of plenty and abundance and prosperity. I know people like that; they rather will stay with that definition. But if you're looking at it from a biblical standpoint, it could be some evil things that happen. Ezekiel 30 and 20, and it came to pass in the 11th year, in the first month, in the 7th day of the month, that the word of the Most High came unto me, saying, Son of man, I have broken the arm of Pharaoh of Egypt, and lo, it shall not be healed, to put a roller to bind it and to make it strong to hold the sword. So once again, we see in the 11th year, something is broken. Now, separation. This is when I see the number 11, this is like the first word that comes to my mind. Of course, like I told you, there's other words associated with it. Remember, we talked about Joseph being the 11th son that ruled over the other 11, but he was separated. He was isolated from his other brothers. And I can attest to this in my own life. Living at dwelling at an address 1111, I was isolated. I was separated from someone that was very close to me. And the separation did not fully come until I moved to 1111. Some people would say, well, that's a coincidence. I don't know. All right. But it came to pass. Let's talk about this separation. Genesis 49 and verse number 26. The blessings of thy father have prevailed against the blessings of my progenitors until the utmost bound of the everlasting hills. They shall be on the head of Joseph and on the crown of him who was separate from his brethren. Remember when you look at the number 1, if you go back to the video about the number 1, I see one of the definitions of the number 1 is to be separated or set apart. So you add another 1 to it, 11, it means separation and isolation. All right, same thing as number 1, but number 1 can be dealing with being kodesh or set apart on the spiritual plane. So keep that in mind. If you continue to see the number 11, think about isolation, separation, humility, something being broken up, a potential journey, or you being promoted to a rulership position. All right, just like I told you and all of the other scriptures, take these words to the Most High in prayer and ask him this is exactly what he's meaning. Now, if you see an 1111 though, because this is what I want to give you a further understanding for those of you that seeing this number 2 different times. All right, some of you think you're seeing 1,111. Some people, you may look at it, you're seeing 1111. When you see a number 2 times, the Most High is magnifying that one number. So when you go to Genesis chapter 41, you see that Joseph, when he's still before Pharaoh, he said the thing is double because it is of the Most High. When you go down to Job chapter 33, verse 14, he said the Most High speaks once, the Most High speaks twice, in the dream, in the vision, when he multiplies things. So when he shows you something twice, he is magnifying the original number. So in this case, it's the number 11. So if you're seeing the number 1111, that means that the Most High is magnifying the number 11. He's showing the number 11 to you 2 different times. When you look at it, go back to my video on the number 2, you see that one of the definitions of the number 2 is the meaning of confirmation. 2 is a number of confirmation. All right, affirmation, if you will. So 11, don't get so thrown off on seeing the 11. I want you to focus on the number 11, and that number 11 can have to be dealing with isolation, separation, humility, something being broken up, something evil. It can have to deal with a rulership, or it can have to deal with judgment. Keep those things in mind when you are seeing the number 11 and the numbers 11. So if this video touched you in any type of way, all right, you found some type of edification in it, share this video with someone else. And also, too, if you're not subscribed to the channel, click that subscribe button, click the bell button for notifications so that these videos can be uploaded in your feed as soon as they come out. All right, so I appreciate you for tuning in. I pray the Most High be with each and every single one of you. Until the next time we meet again.